Greetings and welcome to the 2023 FFCC outdoor season. My name is Wayne Dillon and I'm honored to serve as the music caption administrator. We have a terrific lineup of adjudicators from across the country to evaluate your groups this fall, and I'm sure you'll be happy with the feedback. In this session, I'll be discussing the Ensemble music sheet that will be utilized. The Ensemble music sheet will be judged from the press box, and the sheet will focus on the evaluation of the total music ensemble, that being winds, percussion, electronics, and any other instrument producing sound. The sheet will feature 2 boxes, each worth 100 points. The top box being musicianship, tone, intonation, and the second box being balance, timing, and technique for a total of 200 or 20 points. The scoring ranges will be delineated into 5 boxes: weak, fair, good, excellent, and superior. And the back of the sheet will feature criteria that matches each of the assigned number ranges: seldom, rare, sometimes, frequent, and consistent. The judges will use an achievement-based approach to evaluation, that being they will consider the what, the repertoire, and the how, the performance, when formulating their commentary and scores. The judges will consider the subcaption guidelines chart also on the sheet. This will help the judge to determine the appropriate subcaption spreads between bands in the competition. Please note that the subcaption spread guidelines only refer to subcaptions and not the bottom line. And now for the actual sheet. As mentioned, there are 2 boxes: the musician tone and intonation, and then the balance, timing, and technique. Inside of those 2 boxes, I just want to go through some of the criteria. Now, these are not listed in a priority order. One is not worth more than another, but these are the guidelines that the judges will look at as they are listening and watching your performances. So under musicianship, tone, and intonation, the first heading is quality of sound and tone production in a variety of ranges and dynamics. And keep in mind, again, this looks at the entire ensemble. So the evaluator is not only looking at the quality of sound and tone from the winds, but as well the percussion and electronics. They may talk about things like the EQ of electronic sounds, of microphones, and just the overall production. So know that that's a full total ensemble look at quality of sound and tone production. Similarly, the second bullet point, consistency of sonority. So similar in that regard, what does the group sound like? What kind of resonance is created? What kind of sonority is produced by the full ensemble? Third bullet point, quality of consistency and consistency of tuning. And again, similar, it's not just the tuning of the winds, it's the tuning of perhaps the winds relative to the percussion. Or what is the quality of sound of the percussion section when they have a feature? Are the instruments produced and tuned in a way that you're getting clarity in the intervals between the bass drums or the tenor drums? Do you hear the tenor drums, or does their tuning kind of make them lost in the overall mix with the winds? So not just the tuning consideration of the winds, but a total ensemble. Quality and consistency during simultaneous or environmental challenges. Here, the judge is looking at not just the music, but what are they doing at the same time? Do they have choreography? Are they spread out? Are there spatial considerations? Are there environmental considerations? Are they standing on props? Are they in unusual forms where they're having a harder time to be evaluated? The next point is melodic and harmonic tuning. So the judge will look at, are you playing diatonic phrases? Are you playing angular melodic lines that are challenging intervallically? And what about the harmonic tuning? You probably are not going to get a harmonic analysis, but you might get a judge that will identify a more dense harmonic setting. Maybe it's non-tertian. So that type of thing will be evaluated. And then we get to phrasing, expression, and style. So the judge will look at the stylistic range in your show. They will talk about expression and your use of dynamics and contour to create music, and obviously how you phrase ideas. how you use accentuation, and all of the different techniques that will create musicianship for you. And finally, in the top box, the variety of musical styles or genres, and we touched on that in the previous. What is the range that you're offering, and how does that play into the repertoire challenge for the players? Is it one style, or do you have like 4 or 5 styles that are utilized throughout the show? And that will certainly play into the achievement factor. So that's the top box, and then that brings us to the second box, the balance, timing, and technique box. Now this one looks at things like the first bullet point being overall clarity, focus, and uniformity. Now, similar to what we do indoor with our bands, we're trying to create the greatest sense of clarity by bringing out the most important idea, that being the melody, and then considering elements such as staging and how we're able to create the best possible clarity in this musical offering, utilizing all of the various musical elements. The second one deals with accuracy of rhythms, pulse, and technical skills. So again, always have to keep in mind on this ensemble music skill, that's the total ensemble. So we're looking at accuracy of rhythmic ideas in the percussion section, as well as the winds and together. The third bullet point, control during musical, physical, and environmental challenges. So again, in spatial settings where you have environmental situations, maybe utilizing props or in big formations, how is the control part? How is the music still being controlled considering velocity and some of the other physical factors? Consistent technique and a variety of techniques. Do the front ensemble, do you notice they're using the Stevens grip, or maybe they use Burton grip, or maybe they're going back and forth? What about the winds? Is there double tonguing? So taking a look at the variety of techniques that might be offered overall. And how does the group control the pulse center? How is that during the show? Is it consistent? And again, there's a number range that will address depending on where the group might be at competitively. The next point is control of balance between and among all instrumental groups. So again, the idea of when you're balancing the ensemble, are you creating primary, secondary, tertiary kind of looks and listens to your ensemble? So you're, again, going back to the first point, creating the best musical clarity through your musical balance and how all of the elements are working together. And the final bullet point is the vertical alignment of the full ensemble. Just making sure, again, that there's a relationship of front to back and side to side, and all of the elements know their roles, when to watch, when to listen, and that type of work has been put in. In closing, I'm really excited about the inaugural FFCC outdoor season. I'm wishing you all the very best of luck with your programs. Looking forward to seeing all of you, and safe travels. Thanks.